Hello everyone here on SpeedGaming and welcome to the next race here in the Pokemon Crystal Randomizer Cinco Bingo tournament. Today we have the match between Ergotae and Trencha. I'm Rando here, I will be commentating for you, and I have Lazy Fries with me. Hey Lazy.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, more Pokemon Bingo. It's been interesting group stage so far, some very exciting races. What do you expect today to happen today?
I'm not sure. Each race has been interesting. I feel like nothing's been what we've expected entirely. So I'm just interested in seeing what happens to, spice things up a bit. Say we don't get the middle card. Say they have bad starters and just don't find anything. I feel like each race has been entertaining, and I'm hoping to see the same kind of thing.
See what we have to deal with today. Take a look at the card. I don't see any specific day goals.
Everstone Goldberry for contest.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, that's the one. So probably going to set for Saturday to get a chance at doing the bug catching contest, since Saturday is the fastest bug catching contest day to reach.
I'm going to let them know about to start, alright?
Yep.
Alright, their countdown has begun.
Otherwise, quite a lot of catch goals on the card.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There's not also a lot of guarantees because of it. Row 5 looks pretty doable. Might take a little bit of time with the puzzles and having to go Ho-Oh if they can't find it with black classes, but otherwise this seems like a pretty info-reliant card.
So we will have to wait a bit and see what kind of info we can get a hold of. 7 normal types not is usually a pretty okay one to do.
I agree. I've come to learn not to guarantee the type goals just because every once in a while you have a bad ROM and you just can't find them. But normal's pretty easy.
So let's take a look at the starters. Slowbro, Banana, and Seeking. Ergotae taking a Seeking?
Trencha does as well, I think.
Maybe? Apparently thinking over it really carefully. Maybe taking another look at the card. Yeah, none of these explicitly on the card itself. Slowbro, very tanky, but as the name implies for that entire evolution line, a bit slow. So Seeking probably as the maybe fastest out of the 3. Decent pick, just so you can run from stuff. You're on route 29. Means though that we will have to deal with that Slowbro on the rival types. That can be annoying.
True. The Slowbro definitely has better stat-wise, at least special-wise, but yeah, the Seeking was definitely the faster choice. I can see Trencha taking some time to decide that is understandable.
I mean, none of these Pokemon were something you really want to run in any capacity. So
No, absolutely.
Wasn't a choice
I agree
of
with that.
what you want to run. First normal type here for Ergotae in the Persian. And that's a crit E-speed, so no way to catch that Persian. A bit unfortunate.
What moves do they have to look out for? Four non-HM field moves.
Field moves.
Trencha finding Quagsire.
It's on the card. Meanwhile, second try Ergotae gets the Persian. Yeah, field moves is interesting to look out for. We have 3 field moves, or non-HM field moves that we can teach in Headbutt, Rock Smash, and Sweet Scent. Any of those we can always rebuy. So those are pretty much guaranteed to teach. But we need one more. That could be Dig, Teleport, Soft Boiled, or Milk Drink. Yeah, runners might want to be on lookout for Pokemon that have one of those 4 moves. Ice Beam, Dragon Breath, Persian, probably not something I would want to run.
No, is it
maybe.
Persian? Oh wow! All right.
Take a look at it. Dragon Breath.
Either way, it's a goal at least.
True.
And he does get it.
Trencha turning down a Snubbull, which also would be a normal type, but it's...
Oh, and Trencha finds the Ho-Oh as well.
Dizzy Punch, Bubble Beam, Dragon Breath, that's good enough, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely I've run worse.
Amok not really helping.
I think it's stuck with those moves though. Doesn't most legendaries only get their next move like around like 11 to 13?
It is somewhere around that, so you really cannot rely on Ho-Oh getting much help in the immediate future. So it is okay.
Stalls it though. I don't think it's going to get stalled at least. Like the Bubble Beam can deal with steel types. It has either that or Dragon Breath for the ghosts. I think it's doable for now without any extra moves.
Yeah, but you need to get it started a bit. Legendaries have these low XP curves, so they won't get levels as fast as non-legendaries, and with that slow bro, if it has something annoying, you are not getting fast through that. So we will have to wait and see how it deals in Thunder Punch. Yeah, that will, at least for the rival fight, deal pretty well with this Ho-Oh, even if it has such great special defense. Because early on it just is not.
If they can get through this though, that's a big boost of XP for them.
Yeah, apparently burning a few potions here for this XP. And okay, good switch there, speed. Not something you want to deal with. Also, apparently we do have Stab Gust.
Oh, you're right.
So, yeah, it's a well enough moveset to do something once we get started. And Ergotae finishing the right fight with the XP on the Ho-Oh. Trencha went with the Quagsire.
I mean, his Ho-Oh died, so it was either that or the Sea King.
A bit unfortunate there. Quagsire, usually not something you want to run. It had a pretty good moveset from what I could see in a quick glance.
Ooh, Trencha finds the Goldberry.
Now, yeah, this is another way you can do this Everstone Goldberry goal. You don't have to place second or third and finish. If they are lying on the ground, and you pick them up, that will count. So Now Ergotae also knows, okay, there has to be an early Everstone or Goldberry, and I'd imagine him immediately checking Route 29 item, which he has previously skipped.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. There's not a lot of options to choose from right now.
Yep. Yep. No surprise, Ergotae does know where to look for that Goldberry.
Also goes well with the 7 different types of berries they had to pick up.
Yep. Definitely better choice or better option that could have happened for you for this goal with that synergy. Does make getting that goal a little bit faster too. You don't need to pick up that mystery berry or miracle berry that you might go for in a later stages of the game to get this to 7. Now the 6 that are quote unquote on your path with the ice berries, I believe, after the contest, and the mint berry on the farm. You can finish that goal now a bit faster. Trencha getting past that first trainer. Getting magma information is pretty huge here. Getting information on that middle goal. Oh no, wait. That was the Titor was actually here in 30. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well. I didn't think that was in the trainer, but I mean that's good XP at least.
No, the Magmar definitely was on the trainer, and the 4 was an EV. I got a bit confused by the levels there.
Ergotae finds the Quagsire.
Yeah, Thunderbolt, decent move. And that's also the third goal for Ergotae. No runner really having an immediate advantage over the other here in the early game.
No, they're pretty much neck and neck right now. Same mains, same spot.
The slight difference is that Ergotae got that slow pro kill on the Ho or with the Ho, so the Ho actually having more XP.
True, that's going to make the next fight, the level 9, much easier.
Picking up the Bitter Berry. Getting an random Poison Cure Berry. So we can actually use now one of those. Since we did pick up that one next to Mr. Pokemon already. And Ergotae fighting this 4 Pokemon trainer here. 4 XP and 4 possible information. As far as I can see, phone book not on the card today, which would be another reason to maybe fight this trainer, since it does give you a phone number.
Yeah, this is definitely going to set him up for a good sweep through Faulkner, though, with the XP.
Yeah.
He's going to be pretty close to the levels in the gym, and at least his moves aren't great, but he's definitely boosting it up with levels to compensate.
And especially because it's a legendary and the EXP curve is a bit worse. That's probably the reason he did.
Yeah, I agree, and also finding a lantern as well.
That is definitely helpful. Trencha does make it past the level 9 for it.
That opens up column 4 for him.
Trencha will see that this is still a very early marked lantern. So can reasonably guess that it is probably somewhere on 30, 31 or Dark Cave. But yeah. We don't know if it's a rare one, or if it's a more common slot, or if it's a rare slot. Maybe one of the 10%. But yeah, this could be an advantage for Ergotae getting it here. Oh.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, better take out that Hitmonchan, and you don't want to let it use second rollout against Ho-Oh. Into Scissor.
Yeah, that's info for a Steel type at least.
Ergotae taking a look at the moves, not finding a field move. on them. And yeah, we said this is a card that needs information, and we are getting information. Let's see how Ergotae will deal with the bird. Oh, gets confused by the Psybeam, that's a bit annoying. Usually you could use your Bitterberry to get rid of this confusion, but with 7 different berries in the card, you don't really want to do that if you don't have to.
I don't think there is another Bitterberry location, or is that the only one that's easily accessible?
I don't know my berry trees well enough. I mean, if it comes to it, you could always clock reset. The Bitterberry tree isn't too far off.
That's true.
But yeah, it's not something you really want to have to deal with.
I just looked. There's one west of the water on before the Lake of Rage on Route 43. Not very convenient.
Yeah. I mean, in a pinch you could do that, but it's not something you want to have to account for.
Well, I mean, if they go for, they're gonna have to go for TM10, so it wouldn't be a horrible thing. But that's if you want to use the berry as well.
Trencha teaching Sand Attack to roll.
Oh, it's the accuracy reducing.
Yep. Oh, well, that's a TM.
Awesome. Only downside is it does take up one of his slots, so unless he finds another accuracy reducing move, you might have to keep that there.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Drill Pack, what really do you want more? Ergotae turning it down for now. Oh, it's Dragonite has Thunder. Oh, it's annoying.
And he gets it at least.
Dragonite not the best special attacker, and having incredible special defense certainly helped there. And yeah, this is gonna get interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they diverged for the accuracy reducing move. It's gonna definitely change up how Ergotae is gonna have to look out for Pokemon.
I mean, if it really comes to the worst, Ergotae should know that the hole learns Sand Attack at level 11, so if he really is desperate for it, he could always try to catch another, since it apparently seems to be a more common one. Potentially, and then level it up to 11. It should not take too long later in the game. But yeah, there are more chances. We will get a few other TMs. Bright Powder too. Yeah.
Porygon hatching from the egg.
It is a normal type. The moveset is not helping. Trencha grabbing that old rod. So there will be some kind of fishing going on.
I can see it. Good way to, if you catch something, hide the info from your opponent.
Ergotae did skip the old rod. Meanwhile, the first fishing slot that we saw were in Omastar. Not helping today. in the Union fishing slot, the first one.
Yeah, and sadly not on the card today.
It's a little bit of XP though, an easy kill through a pack. And Ergotae not interested in the TM here in Union. I mean, we do have Drill Pack on Ho. We don't really care about other moves at this point.
No, you would only be looking, I guess, for Flamethrower, Fire Blast, or a field move, but besides that, you have everything you need. Trencha does pick it up, though, so we might see what it is soon.
Yep. And also free Paralyzed Cure Berry. Oh, and Trencha running into the optional here, a bit unfortunate. Don't think this was intended.
Probably not, but it might have info. That'd be nice. Or just tons of XP.
Yeah, it has XP. Probably the second best thing you can get out of it. Yeah. Teaching Drill Pack Overcast does make sense.
And the trainer's name is Blissy Wall. Funny.
Trencha picking up another Poison Berry here, or I don't know. Trencha did skip the first one.
Another ones that are always nice to have, so you can actually use them.
Yeah. We did already have that one extra random that we got. Main key. After pull out our Totodile, second one of the wrong starter set.
Yeah, I was about to say, we saw the Quill, or not the Quill Lava, we saw the, no, it was Quill Lava, wasn't it? Totodile again.
This time it's the wild one, not on the trainer, no. Could have actually caught it right here. Is brought. Not directly on the card, but there is always the trade in Violet.
Very true. I used that on my run yesterday, got it early Lugia. Helped a lot.
Not on the card today.
It's normal type though, if he wants to look for it, if he doesn't have 7 of them.
It will depend a bit, but it could be reasonable that the normal types on the card. We did see a Sunflower, so we do have that bottom left, top right diagonal unlocked. And we are just missing one of Charmeleon Ivysaur over total for the row 1. Because 4 moves sharing its type is pretty easy with normal types.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you get a normal flying, even better.
Yep. I mean, we do have Cut and Strength as HMs already, and can always slap Sweet Scent and Headbutt on a normal type to get all 4. With a normal flying, we could just put Fly on there and Sweet Scent and have the perfect HM friend.
And there's a Bulbasaur.
That is info. So yeah, information is coming together quite nicely.
I think as long as all the Pokemon exist, they should have a actual info to complete the card right now.
Ergotae should for sure. And we have rows 3 and 5 guaranteed that the Magmar exists. Although they are not the fastest, we have the bottom left top right diagonal. We have column 4. And with the Bulbasaur we would have row 1, so it would be possible. Croconaw just continuing on showing the Johto starters.
Just need Bayleaf and we have the whole other card.
Okay. Are you giving us Flamethrower, Bugsy? Would be fitting theme. I couldn't catch that.
I don't think Bugsy actually shows what you get when you get the TM.
Bugsy shows. I caught it often enough.
Oh, I have never looked then.
Well, there's at least the Chikorita, so...
If it didn't give us the Bulbasaur info, I feel like it would just be mocking us.
Oh, it sure would. Oh, the Slowbo, yeah, right, Slowbo still has Thunder Punch, it is annoying, but we do have Drill Peck. We will get through this reasonably. Zubat not on the card. Ergotae into Ilex Forest.
And Trencha done Bugsy. They're still very close together.
Double team.
Double team.
Unfortunately, not the one we really want to use. Is conversion normal type?
Yes.
So the Persian actually is all on 2 already. With conversion cut. So if you teach strength and sweet scent to it, you could just finish that. And looks like Ergotae is skipping headbutt here. Or did I just miss him pick up the...
No, I don't think he did it, because the repel wouldn't have gone off then.
Huh. This might already... okay,
there it is.
Turning back, yeah. If you don't speak to the headbutt teacher, you won't be able to buy headbutt in the mart, so it's especially for non-HM field moves that would be pretty annoying to not have that easily accessible. And it would be just a decent move to teach the Ho, although we do have Dizzy Punch and therefore it is not needed.
I think they're the same base power, aren't they?
Yes. Headbutt has, I believe, 5 PP more and flinches instead of...
Confuses,
confusion.
yeah.
But it's not really worth to teach headbutt over it. Except for when you do need a move and you don't have PP on Dizzy Punch. And with Drill Peck already on the Ho-Oh, we don't need headbutt.
No. Would seem a little overkill, and probably just save it for a normal type.
Yep.
Ergotae going for the bug catcher.
Yeah, probably not going into contest here. We did find the gold berry already, so we don't have the reason to go into the contest itself. We don't really have a need for random TMs. There is the TM 10, but that one is a fixed one. We know where we can get that. the Ergotae is hatching.
And it's wow, alright. That's great.
That's a free goal.
We'll see if Trencha picks it up.
Let's grab a free ash. A sacred ash here. Was nice to have. Grabbing the iceberry. So should be on 6 now. Normal, poison, paralyzed, bitter, gold, and ice. So
Ooh, Dunsparce and normal. That's awesome.
all the information.
That
So,
opens
yeah.
up Helm's 3 for him. That's an easy one. As long as the, Magmar exists.
You say that as if a different 90 different Pokemon scene would be easy. It can actually be surprising hard in some ROMs.
Really?
It actually can. You always think of it as free, but it really isn't sometimes.
That's good to know. Alright.
Especially if you get quite a lot of catch goals, but they turn up to be pretty common. Or there are a lot of duplicates on routes, and you are not really seeing many Pokemon in the fight since you don't have to do many fights. Yeah. It can be deceptively hard.
Yeah, I can see that. Never thought about that way. But yeah, if you don't really go for a lot of trainers and it's not a lot of Pokemon to catch, I can just completely see that. Also, you don't have to catch 25 different Pokemon. That would make it a little bit easier if that was also on the card with it.
Yeah, there's some slight synergy in that. And Trencha was picking up quite a lot of more TMs, and there's a smokescreen TM somewhere in TM48. That would be another accuracy reduced move. But looks like Ergotae actually got one somewhere when I wasn't looking.
Ergotae also picking up the radio card. Getting that corner goal now since he has the Charmeleon.
It's just very likely that we will go for the top left, bottom right diagonal and or the row 5, so yeah, makes sense to grab the radio card.
And Trench's odd egg hatching, getting him the Charmeleon as well.
Ooh, it looks a bit...
Ooh, shiny.
From what I heard, about a 14% to happen
I think so.
on the odd egg. So it's not as rare as it would normally be.
Unfortunately, shiny Pokemon's not on the card, or that would give them an early goal as well.
Yeah, what's the Cyndaquil? Oh, there, that was the accuracy reducing move. Octazooka, of course.
There you
Giving
go.
out that goal for free too. Trencha teaching Headbutt over Sand Attack.
Yeah, fair enough. Might as well. I'd probably just save that for a normal type.
For normal type or for non-HM field moves, there is no pressing need to teach it, although if you only have Drill Peck as your one physical move, you can run out of PP, so there is value to it. And I mean, non-HM field moves probably not on your path.
No, with how much info they have, I can see it not being there. Because you would also need to have the Corsola Quillfish or the Horsey Ponyta.
And even for types. Sharing, full move sharing its type is doable without headbutt.
Absolutely. And we saw the pseudo was Graveler and picking up the Rock Smash.
Ergotae into the Kimono Girls. Teddy Ursa. Unfortunately, not really helping in any way. We already had that info. Would be a normal type, yes.
Graveler, that's like a pseudo widow. Instead of a tree, it's just like a big bush, I guess.
Yeah, it's similar, definitely. In a way. Yeah. Not too many hard fights currently. I mean, not that Drill Pack Ho-Oh would have trouble with much of
I was just about to say, yeah.
There still could be harder fights. War Total, if you wouldn't have gotten the Charmeleon already, we would now have better info for that goal. Yeah, I mean, really, regarding info, it's Horsey Ponita missing, Corsair Quillfish, and that
I think that's it, yeah.
The field moves also missing, which
Also, Trencha doesn't have the Kingler Lantern.
True.
Or the Dunsparce Stratford Wobbuffet.
Yeah, so Kingler Lantern, you could probably reasonably meta game. Dunsparce might be slightly harder. You don't know if your opponent might have gone into contest.
True.
Even without the need for Everstone Goldberry, their contest actually has different slots, 10 of them, than the normal routes. They don't show up on the decks, so it could be on 35, it could be on 36, it could be in the contest, could be in the national park.
A lot of places to check.
So metagaming that could be a bit harder, so that's definitely a bigger problem for Trencha.
Yeah, I agree. And we see him skipping the contest as well.
Teaching Surf over Bubble Beam is just a straight upgrade, even though you lose the speed reduce. Getting 30 base attack power is probably way more worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And like the Ho is fast enough already. It doesn't need to reduce anything speed.
Its special is also decent enough, so can reasonably use Surf. Trencha going for the hidden item in front of Ergotae, just made me today, and the Tyranitar is back.
Sadly, Hit and Dragonite are both not on the card today.
And this time Slowbro being a bit more annoying than before. And Ergotae taking the feint on the whole.
He has revives.
Yeah, probably the Paralyzed didn't really want to use Paralyze Cure and wanted to get it off this way. But yeah, this Slowbro really turned out to be annoying, so it might have been actually a better pick in the start to just take it. So your rival would have, what was it? Something way more frail. The Venenet.
Venenet, yeah, and it was a poison type. I can't remember what it was.
Because here, this global really is showing why it's so annoying to deal with. Even if you have Stab Drill Peko, it just tanks.
Ooh,
so
but
much.
that Growl though.
Charges are not really a problem. So we have some aromas we can listen to.
Yep, we're gonna hear those cries pretty soon.
Nothing immediately standing out to me.
I do not know my cries at all.
We do have Garfield though.
Oh, there we go. Garf says Cubone, Larvitar, and Kingdra.
Oh. If that were true, then defeating that Kingdra would be kinda annoying. So what Ergotae is trying to do here, if he identified even one of the Romas as something rather frail, like Cubone and Larvitar certainly would, this could be a decent way to get the defeat at level 40 without having to go to Tin Tower.
Oh, absolutely. The few seconds this would take, comparatively to fighting the 3 monks and then fighting the level 40, that's definitely a time saver. If it pops up, I would go for it.
War Turtle is back. Trencha picking up a lot of items, even though we don't really need anything anymore. I mean, there's technically still soft sand we could pick up.
And the black glasses. I feel like that's a... If you can, like, get that off, that's a decent time saver.
Yeah. On the other hand, the wait to Blackthorn is not that... It takes a bit, but it's not too long. You don't have to do any fights.
No, that's true. It's just time intensive comparatively to difficult. While the soft sand, you obviously right, you have to fight the 3 trainers.
And if you just pick all the items, we've seen Ergotae skip quite a lot of them. That time you lose picking up, you drop them will add up pretty fast.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, if you don't get anything to show for it,
But what if you do? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. It's like the time you sink into it to maybe get something comparatively to just knowing that you can just get the goals normally and just save the time. Definitely weighing the options kind of thing.
And in addition to that, you have to mark it once you get it, and that can tell your opponent if you get something out of the order. Getting hit by Zap Cannon there on Trencha's side. Yeah, but if you get a soft sand or black glasses early, depending on when you get them, as you mark them, your opponent can reasonably guess where they are and just go there and pick them up without having to pick up all the other items. So
that's true.
There's definitely some drawback to just be the first one to find something.
That Hitmontop is definitely causing Trencha some problems with the Zap Cannon recover.
Yeah. A few paralyzes in there and then Dirtpeg. Therefore not clean. This was a rough fight for Trencha, and that might even be the reason why Ergotae just said, well, let me take the feint, get off that paralyzed, and then deal with that way. Gets past the rival, though, so...
We'll see if he goes for the roamers as well.
at least saving, so might want to have the option to give it a try.
Why would you save there?
If you save there and then release the roamers, you can reset back to that point, release the roamers again, and then you have still that around 40% chance to run into a roamer if you try for it.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you save after it and then reset and try again, then the roamer positions will be set randomly and do not have to be on the routes adjacent here.
Oh, so, I get it, because then at that point, yeah, they get randomized and they're not adjacent. Wow, yeah. That's actually pretty cool.
So if you save before releasing them and then release them again, you can get back that same first try to get them. Which, if you don't care for which specific roamer, you just want to encounter one that's about a 40% chance on the route you go to get one if you do it with this strat.
Ergotae picking up the good rod.
Ergotae did also play full item randomizer, so it might just be some kind of muscle memory. Old rod or good rod has some different fishing slots too, and yeah, it could be something to get some different information. So, you know, if you are looking for information still, something you could go for.
Yeah, true. I mean, I guess that's the same mentality for Trencha getting the old rod in the beginning.
Yeah, somewhat around that, or something like that. And it's definitely not something everyone's doing, so if you get something of that, you definitely can mess with your opponent.
Oh yeah, because they can't metagame it, and if they try to, it takes up time from them.
Well, they can, but usually people are not doing it, so you can definitely get some opponents into the wrong thinking with this move, but only if you don't do it every time, because then you can be again method with that in mind.
Yeah, that's fair at least. And with Ergotae almost getting fly, he'll have access to the map and can kind of good rod in different locations that wouldn't be easier to, metagame along the set route.
Yeah. Again, though, currently I don't really see much need for that.
No, same. But I mean, it's a good tool to have in case.
And like I said, maybe just a muscle memory from full item randomizer, where you of course want to do that checks. That's one random item.
No. Everything that these runners do is all intentional. They all have master plans. Nothing is by chance.
I'm one of these runners too, and I can definitely tell you that is not the case.
One can hope, alright?
They often try their best to make it look like it.
Yeah, it's 100% fair.
I mean, to be fair, the old rod, the good rod could have been on the card, so it's not completely
wrong
not
at all.
Have that just in your routing for these bingos.
Yeah, just so you always get it.
Yeah. That way you won't forget it once it is on the card. It is a new goal for this tournament, so if you are not were not used to it, then maybe that way you can just make sure you won't forget if it does happen.
Yeah, that's fair enough, and just get used to it. You see Ergotae almost done with the Chuck Gym, and Trencha just get done Morty. Still not too far apart, all things considered.
Well, although being almost the entirety to Cyan would have had is definitely quite a bit, in addition to Ergotae definitely having the information advantage here. And this card could be over comparatively fast, so difference we actually see here is not
instant. You're right, yeah. With those extra goals he has, the extra time he's going to get ahead of Trencha can be a game winner.
Trencha picking up berry number 7.
I think Ergotae just checked the Shucky and it was a Tycho.
Yeah. Didn't really matter for the Pokemon. Did not get a quick enough look at the moveset to see if there would maybe a field move on it.
We can hopefully see it again when Trencha, if he picks it up.
Okay, let's see what Chuck has in store for us. Clefable would be another normal type, although you probably would prefer to catch Clefairy and then just evolve it.
We see Trencha putting all his berries in the computer so he doesn't use them. That's smart, and marking that off, I'm assuming, pretty soon.
Also making sure that way that he actually has 7. There's a way to count.
Yeah, instead of trying to mess with the inventory. That's fair. And Ergotae done with Chuck at 48 minutes. That's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, Drill Peck 00, there's not too much trouble. Although that slow bro really was annoying at times. So
he seems to be a menace right now.
I mean, it was until now, but we should be done with that.
Yeah, there's no Rival 4, so won't be seeing it again unless another trainer has it, or Glacier Badge.
Glacier Badge is probably on their path. If Magmar exists, that's just basically free bingo.
Yeah, it's 2 free bingos at least for Ergotae since he has the Lantern.
Yeah,
the shuffle now.
I mean, the defeater, that's not a field move.
Nope.
The defeater level 40, what I would not say is completely free, especially if it is a clean draw. That can be annoying even for a ho-oh.
That's very true. At least it's possible if it needs to be, if something's not actually real on the card.
Teaching strength to Porygon, that's probably in preparation for mood sharing its types.
Yeah, easy enough. And Ergotae going for TM10.
Which probably means he will be going for that level level 40 defeating, and that's a free dig TM lying in front of the TM10 here. So yeah, if Ergotae wants to, he has that for non-HM field moves.
Is dig always the same number?
TM28, all field moves are, or TM28 alongside with TM2, TM12, and TM8 are always set to be their normal TMs. So,
oh, that's interesting.
20,
that's awesome.
TM28 is always dig, and therefore always a field move you can use. It is the only one of those that is actually randomized from its normal position, since it lies on the ground.
It's usually in contest, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be the normal slot for dig. So that spot itself is randomized, but dig, if the TM28 shows up, is always that.
That's pretty lucky. The one TM he checks, he gets the field move.
Okay, so looking up Magmar, that certainly does exist. Dark Cave and Union, not the best ones. If it's on Blackthorn's side of Dark Cave, it can be annoying.
And at least with Union, it's it's technically possible with that, but that's a lot of checks.
Sprout Tower is definitely better. I think that's also Ice Path, not
Yeah, Ice
Resistant
Path.
for Scissor. Looking up Sunflora. Oh, that's annoying because that's Runes of Earth and Ten Tower, and that's not how you want to look at them.
No. I mean, unless you're going for the 4 puzzles, but I'm assuming they won't be.
Well, I mean, with Black Glasses and Magma being over there, might. Ergotae is at least checking the
Oh, true.
Ruins of Earth slots in the water. They are quickly accessible. The grass ones are more annoying.
Yeah, you have to go through Union to get to those.
But if the 4 puzzles are on your path, then when you do a Ho-Oh puzzle, you will go over to the grass. But at that point, you really want to know if it's there or not, so you want to exhaust the water slots at least. That's 2 out of 3, though.
That's pretty good, at least. Ooh, also, if they do the puzzles, they both have Ho-Oh, so they'll get 4 free item checks to see if they can find the black glasses or soft sand in there.
True. Actually, something... I don't think it works this way in Rando, though. I think you have to interact with the static for it to count.
Oh, really? Okay.
I believe so, I'm not sure. Not sure how Bingo handles it. But that's at least how full item Rando would handle it.
Okay. Ergotae can't find that last slot, unfortunately, right now.
Yeah. There's a 60, a 30, and a 10. Okay, Bingo does handle it in normal way. Okay, that would be then 4 free item check.
And we just given up, that's fair.
He knows there's a Scissor and Sprout, I believe. Oh, okay. Turning in the...
Maybe going for dark?
Yep. Take a look at Magmas here, if you have to go over. We have to probably go over. You could surf over to get the land slots, the ground slots on the Blackthorn side with surf. But if it's in the water, you just don't have access to there from this side. So just go over there. You want to pick up the black glasses anyway. So just go do that.
Yeah, it just seems like another incentive to actually go get black glasses.
Going for the Scissor. No, don't go in for Scissor first.
And Trencha is going for TM10 now, done with his chuck. Both of them doing pretty well.
Yep. Let's see if Trencha also picks up a dig.
That would be really nice if he does. I imagine he will. He's been picking up everything.
Yeah. It would be surprising if Trencha suddenly decides to not pick it up.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Alright.
TM Trencha skips.
That's unfortunate. Oh, I see. He put it on the Pokemon so he doesn't teach it by accident. That's smart.
Yep.
Or sell it. I guess that's a better use for TMs now.
I mean, if it were teleport on TM10, there's definitely some consideration to if you want to teach it.
Oh, true.
But, it wasn't. I believe it was something.
Yeah, it was Whirlwind. And Trencha done with the shiny. Now both runners have access to everything that they could need. I think they both definitely have roots right now. It's just seeing who can, compile all the information and get their goals the fastest.
I wonder if Trencha tries to metagame for that lantern. Because it definitely would help if you can get that.
Oh, absolutely.
And Scissor is on this floor here, nice path. That would be Steel type.
And a normal type.
Yep, that's normal type. Does not really look like Ergotae does plan around normal types at the moment, though.
No, because apparently they're just coming running to him. And he just does not care.
It would mean that he would have to get the Sunflower, and we did, or it would mean that he either gets the Sunflower or does Soft Sand Girls or finds Bonita. And Sunflower being Tin Tower and Ruins of Alpha only does not really seem to be anything that Ergotae wants to do right now.
Yeah, that's fair. He probably has, I mean, he does have different options right now, and not taking the time for something that you aren't guaranteed to do makes sense.
While we were talking about that, he did catch the Togepi that he would not really have other use for, and there's no chance that uses Spider Web, so you can't really run from that.
Yeah, and he's using a special move. Definitely knows that he could just take it down with the Drill Peck.
We do have Corsola info on the on Trencha's side, though. That does open up a row 2 and column 1.
I think that's Price, isn't it? Has that info?
Probably. I think Trencha went in there.
Yeah, it's Price. He has 3 Pokemon.
Yep, that was Price. And yeah, that is more info. Definitely helpful for Trencha here.
Unfortunately, doesn't get the Dig TM to finish that column out, but
we know it would be useful, but it's actually currently not useful for Trencha since it's also missing Dunsparce.
Yeah.
And once Ergotae goes on to do Price, Ergotae will get that Corsola Quillfish info. That will certainly help. Would make a more accessible path still for Ergotae, especially if you do want to skip out on the Sunflower.
Definitely opens up another column for him. I can see him changing to that if need be. Ooh, finally getting the Scizor.
On the other side, we see that the Corsola is actually pretty obtainable, and funnily enough, it being on 31, if Trencha goes there, you can also run into the Lantern, depending on how
that would be really nice for him.
Corsola. Could also go for Burn Tower, which only has 7 slots instead of 10, so I could reasonably see someone going there for it. Is probably going to take a peek at the Sunflower here in Ruins of Alpha if you can get it in the water.
Yeah, let's see if he can find the one Pokemon that Ergotae didn't.
Yeah, so we probably have Kokuna as the common, and there is the last slot, although Trencha doesn't know it. So it is in the grass.
And Ergotae finding the Magmar first try in the water.
Second slot for Trencha. And that's all 3 slots seen. So yeah. Magma. Showing again that this is supposed to be 1 and 3 to catch, but sometimes it isn't.
He does get it though.
Yeah. Trencha seeing that Magma's only on the other side. I actually don't know how close it would be to evolving, but we don't really need it since we got that Quagsire so early on.
Oh, true. I can look that up. Merle evolves at 18, so that would just be one more level, need be, if they both didn't have Quagsire.
And it is way over actually then at level 30. That's definitely something you want to keep in mind on some points, or this a way to get to Azumarill. You don't get the immediate information on that goal. Ergotae trying to find the way towards the black glasses. It's a bit too far to the left. 2 steps to the right, then down. Yep, that looks good. Probably looking at the map. Oh, and Trencha did see Dunsparce somewhere, so has at least info. So yeah, that Corsola definitely does help Trencha then. So, teaching Dig, Headbutt, Rock Smash to Chansey, and then still needs to by Sweet Sand, I believe.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if he's going for the soft sand, that wouldn't be too far out of his way. Oh, getting the Bill encounter, see if he gets a free Pokemon as well.
Yep. I mean, to be fair though, currently, without the Corsola information that Ergotae shouldn't have yet, that non-shape field moves wouldn't help him unless he would go for Sunflora and would also need Horsey or Ponyta for that.
Very true.
So, it's a bit curious why he was setting up that now, when there was no real need to, but oh well. Is going for the defeat at level 40 though, now going over to Tin Tower to defeat Suicune, which is today a Kingdra. While Ergotae also on the way over to get Black Glasses and catch Magmar.
Hopefully his Magmar luck is just as good as Ergotae's.
Searching on the ground, was in the water if I counted correctly, so yeah, won't be as fast to get the Magmar.
That's an Executor though. Wow.
Will be another potential goal to get for Trencha. Would mean that he has to get up to 7 normal types if he wants to use that. Or do the puzzles. As we are still missing Horsey Ponyta.
I want to say he only has the Porygon for normals right now.
It wasn't much. That's for sure. Rando does make another appearance. Meanwhile, being done with the sages, now has to deal with a somewhat annoying Pokemon, maybe, and we have seen a quick check on Ergotae's different scene and is at 79, so 11 away from that 90, which, as I mentioned, it's not as free as it might seem sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. Also, Trencha getting Magmar on the first water slot. And marking that off.
There's a Kingdra that would be the 80th scene, we didn't see that yet.
Now, also I think that is our first bingo right now from Trencha.
That it is. But Ergotae won't be far off
No, absolutely.
than the first one. Getting it with this. Defeated Kingra. So the big thing here is though, Trencha marked the Executor and then marked the Magma pretty soon after. And will be
Ooh.
soon marking Black Glasses. So Ergotae gets reliable information that it is probably also in Dark Cave.
That is a very good point. That's going to be really nice for him if he goes back for it.
Well, on the other hand, Ergotae is just searching for the Sunflower already in Tin Tower while he's here.
That
So
makes a lot of sense.
he might not pay enough attention to that or does not really want to.
Yeah, he's
do
already
it
here.
at this point. And the big thing about this is definitely Ergotae does not have Corsola Quillfish and has not fought Price It, which would be 2 more bingos for Ergotae. Which would already put up to 3.
I can see him doing that right after this.
Yeah, but that order prevents him from having that Corsola information. That is the big point. Currently.
Oh, true.
So that Sunflora would be actually not even a bingo for Ergotae at the moment. Would be
Yeah, but
one with 7 normal types.
Yeah, he's at 5.
So would then have
Let's
to
try.
do Soft Sand Girls and for sharing its type in addition, or come across a Horsey or Bonita, or would have to do Ruins of Elf puzzles. So there are 3 ways for Ergotae to finish it that way. He's given it one more look to see if he can find a lucky Horsey or Bonita.
Trencha finding the Scizor for the Steel type. I can see Ergotae going to get the Glacier Badge, getting the Corsola info, and I think that would finish off, and that's 4 bingos right there, and just go get the Sweet Scent for 5th one for his field moves.
Yeah. And that is probably what is about to happen as Ergotae is entering Price's gym. It is maybe a bit questionable that he didn't do this earlier, since this is something he had to do anyway, and there could always be some additional info, like that Execute that you could evolve into an Executor, and you don't have to climb 10 Tower.
Yeah, that's true.
On the other hand, he would always have to defeat the level 40 anyway, and that was also information. So does look pretty good here for Ergotae though. Trencha is going to 36 for the Dunsparce.
Yeah.
Or 35? Was it here?
Yeah, it was here.
It was here, yeah.
Yeah, Corsola is in tower as well. That's what we were saying. If he came here first, he would have also searched for the Corsola in tower instead of trying to go to the other route.
Yeah. But we also know that the Corsola is easier accessible in other slots, or other spots too. So he will be looking there now. There's a Tauros for Trencha. Let's look like. We'll at least take a look. Yeah, and sees, okay, it's also in tin, but it is in burned and on 31. So going over to 31. And depending on how good his luck with the catch is, this should be done pretty soon.
Yeah, it just depends on how fast you can find it.
Yep. Again, has to buy another Sweet Centium and teach it to Chansey to finish out that 4 non-HM field moves. But that's pretty quick. Another normal type. You know, if he's actually at 5, he could just catch it.
Just doing the same thing. Instead of going back to get the Sweet Scent.
And flies away towards Yunya? So is Ergotae pivoting and going for puzzles now?
Maybe? It's the only thing I can think of. Yeah?
So the thing is, I'm not sure how Ergotae is set up on the 4 Pokemon sharing its type.
I don't either. Does get the Ho-Oh item room open. I assume probably not even gonna check it since you already have black glasses. You don't really need the soft sand at this point.
Jarvis, it's not about the Pokemon he has to use it. He has just a Chansey in his party that he could actually use it, but I'm not sure if he has actually the 4 normal types quite on hand as he has already. And taking these puzzles does take a bit, so you could just look for the Corsola in that time, and then he would just have to buy a Sweet Centium to teach to Chansey and would have the non-HM field moves with that. But he would need to probably buy Sweet Scent anyway if he wants to go for sharing its type.
Yeah, either way. And Trencha does catch the Dunsparce.
And that was pretty much the point of my question. I'm not sure Ergotae actually has the 4 normal types pretty much set up in his party without having to do anything. So I'm not really sure how fast this is, especially if you are not 100% sure on your puzzles.
I guess he's just taking the chance that this is going to be faster than finding the Corsola.
Yeah, maybe. It is a guaranteed way. That's for sure. But Ergotae did not really look at too many slots.
No, he only checked the water.
Well, he did have a pass-through on 31 if he got the lantern out of it. I'm not sure how many slots he saw on that pass-through. But
I want to say there's only 1 or 2.
I don't know. I think he could have reasonably checked a few more slots on the ground at least.
Yeah, I think he could have done the ground as well. But, I mean, like they're saying in chat, like Jarvis is saying, it's guaranteed. Might as well, instead of taking the chance.
Yeah. You don't know really where your opponent is or what they're doing. And you know that you probably don't have all the time in the world. On the other hand, doing it the slow way, this does take your 5 minutes, and if you just run into take 1 minute to find a Corsola and take another one to find or to set up the field moves, your opponent could be done in those 5 minutes and wouldn't be done in 2.
Yeah, but also we've all had bad luck where it'll take 10 minutes to catch a Pokemon, so
absolutely.
It's definitely a call, and I mean he's going fast with these puzzles, so I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it was a wrong call in any sense.
No.
Also, on the other side, Trencha going through Blackthorn Gym to get to level 40.
Yeah. It is also one gym, or the level 40 on Claire. you get a bit more experience maybe out of it, as these are generally higher level Pokemon than the 3 stages. But on the other hand, it's also harder.
And more Pokemon to fight.
I mean, if you recognize the Kingdra cry, it's maybe not something we are really eager to fight at level 40.
True.
But we've seen...
Does Ho-Oh still have Dragon Breath? Because, I mean, that's what Ergotae used to get rid of it.
Yeah. It's kind of hard though. Dragon Breath is not as strong on the Ho-Oh as Drill Peck is. That's the difference. It is super effective against Kingdra, yes, but it is that's less base power.
Yeah, you're right.
And it is not stab. And Ho-Oh is a physical attacker, not a special. There is a significant difference in the stats, so I'm really not sure if there's a lot or that much difference in damage between the two.
You are correct. I still get in the mindset of like when you're just playing through a Pokemon game, it's like, oh, super effective move, go, go, go.
Yeah, I mean, with enough levels, that's probably how it works, but yeah. And apparently pivoting, maybe remembering that this might be the fast way. Buying Headbutt and Sweet Scent again. Probably didn't need to do it, as we saw the Whirlwind TM. And Togepi apparently had Slash and...
Well, he can't use the Whirlwind TM, since it's that's HM10, or TM10.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. But apparently the Togepi had Body Slam and I believe one other move, so Cut and Strength would have...
And Ergotae is done.
Yep. That is done.
With...
For GG.
Let's see. 1/1909.
GG.
GG. Kind of bottled it at the end there. The King of Lantern goal was like, that really helped him. Because it meant that he could get level...
Hello.
GG.
GG Ergotae. Yeah. Drill Peck Ho.
Yeah, can't really ask for much more, can you?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely. How'd you think the run went for you?
Pretty good. Little too much info for my taste. It was pretty hard to decide what I wanna do, but
yeah, we were talking about that
itself.
You had a lot of different options towards the end there.
Yeah. I did the mistake of not catching every normal type I saw, so it was pretty easy to skip that and focus on what else I can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were at 5 at the end, so you were pretty close.
Yeah, I did check if the Corsola happened to be underwater. But...
yeah, we saw that. We were talking about if you went for the Corsola, you could have then finished with the field moves as well.
Yes.
But instead, you pivoted for the puzzles and the 4 move sharing its type.
Yeah, I didn't want to be hunting for 10%. I just checked. That would be faster, but...
That was exactly what we were talking about, how if you could waste 10 minutes finding the Pokemon or take 5 minutes to do the puzzles.
Also, whoever says that 90 different scene is a free, you're wrong.
I was actually mentioning that it is definitely not free by any means.
I get it. I'm wrong. I understand now. I'm sorry.
I mean... You checked before the Kingdom, which was probably your 80th, and had seen you were at 79. Sometimes you just don't get these.
Yep. This was very blitz from, like, there was no gold berry on the ground, no need for contest and stuff, so...
Oh, and absolutely, and the Ho-Oh right next to it is just tons of info all around.
Mm-hmm. I think only thing I didn't have info for was Horsey Ponyta.
Yep. Neither of you did.
No, and one that was.
Yeah, I don't think anything really slowed you down with that Ho-Oh. It was just kind of blitzing through everything.
Yeah, I don't. There was something that had a Thunder Punch, which was.
Oh, the
redone
slow
The
bro.
already.
slow bro that you actually
Yeah,
had
maybe
your
I shouldn't
rival
have
as
given-
starter.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have given that the rival, but
Which you both did though, so
okay. It was good EXP at the start.
Yeah, just a little bit of a
managed to
wall.
get it down.
and that was also a pretty big difference between you two. You managed to get the XP from the slow pro on your Ho-Oh, Trencha didn't.
Yeah, if you noticed, I saved before it. I wanted the
Yeah.
XP, like so hard getting legendaries going. Like the Ho-Oh was what, level 3, 2,
Yeah.
3.
3. Yeah, it was on 30, right? Yeah.
It had a decent moveset before the drill pack as well. Nothing could really slow you down, at least type-wise. You had Bubble Beam for the steals. You had same thing for ghost types. Wasn't that bad, even before
Yeah,
drill pack.
Realback just made it so that nothing basically lived, so it helped in that sense, but it wasn't necessary by any means.
Oh no, but it was nice at least. It's always nice a little bit when the card just gives you a free one like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing up, and there's Trencha. GG.
GG. You seem to be muted. Or no?
I'm not hearing anything either, so
Same.
I mean, it worked definitely out in your favor that you got that stun spars and especially the lantern very early on that gave you such a nicer path, Ergotae.
Yeah. We did get the Dunsparce info later. I was a bit sad about that, but yeah.
Yeah, still you got it basically on your way. Trencha did have to look a bit for it, so it did save you a bit time there, and yeah.
So
they
I was hoping me picking up radio card after that would throw him off, but we did get the info, so.
Hello?
Hello.
now we
Ah,
heard some
I completely forgot that I have pushed the talk enable on Discord.
I did the same thing
Easy
yesterday,
fix,
don't worry.
Easy fix. Yeah, I sort of panicked at the end of it a bit there. I was aware that I was a bit behind. I was trying to do all sorts of things at once and not really thinking straight.
No, that happens. And also, there's just so much information. It's a little overwhelming sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like, I
actually,
didn't really have a clear path. So it was a bit difficult.
Yeah, funny thing about that, you did do the Glacier badge a bit earlier, so you had that Corsair Quillfish, or the Corsair information quite a bit earlier than Ergotae did, which actually didn't really help you that much at that point. You had done spots for it for the one bingo, but you have checked so much items and quite a lot of TMs, but one TM you skipped in front of the TM10 on the Lake of Rage was actually Dig.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would have been really handy.
That was like
I did
the only one
like
did
skip a
that,
couple
I think.
towards the end as well. Like I skipped the ice path one as well. I should probably pick that up just in case it was
Okay.
dig or teleport or something like that.
Yeah, it was actually the only one Ergotae picked up.
Didn't even need gold though. So
I was just gunning for soft sand with all the item pickups, but there was nowhere.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Black glasses would have been handy too.
With
Lot
the
of-
Corsair
lot of-
info, on the same route is where Ergotae picked up the lantern, and we were going to see if you were going to check for the Corsair and
Oh.
find that as well.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be somewhere near Violet. I didn't know exactly where, just because of when it was marked. I didn't really want to spend time looking for it. I didn't know which one it was on, because it could have been 31, and it could have been 36 as well. So
Yeah, or even Dark
I wasn't
Cave.
sure. Yeah.
There's
That's
just
it.
a lot of info. It's fair. We were talking if you were gonna check or not. So you said you didn't have a clear path yet?
I don't think so. I mean, I kind of did, but it would have been long, like very long stuff, like defeating a level 40 and also doing the Ruins of Alph puzzles, and also like the Corsola. And like at the time, early on, I was also missing the Dunsparce, so I didn't get that until later. I kind of wished I'd gone for the normal types. Getting the 7 normal type score would have been useful, but when you're repelling all the time, you just don't see them. And I didn't really see any when I was using Sweet Scent either.
I mean, so yeah, there was the time Ergotae wasn't really going for it, but then he went to Ice Path and was looking for the Scissor, and then he was running into 3 normal types back to back to back.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch the A-bomb because I like blanked that thing was on the card actually. So, you know, wouldn't have mattered anyway. I didn't get the last one anyway, so.
There's a lot of duplicate Pokemon as well. Like, I feel like normally you have the 90 scene goal at this point. It's almost free sometimes, but not this time around.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did I end up
we were
with?
We were talking about that.
I ended up with like 80 something.
87.
Yeah.
You take it always for granted until it isn't.
Yep.
Exactly.
Sometimes it really just isn't. And you could have gone into random routes and Sweet Scent for some random slots to get it, sure. But sometimes you do actually have to work for that goal. And, this is a weird one, because sometimes really it is free, but it's usually on the longer cards where you do have to do many fights.
Yeah,
or like
you have Rising Badge.
I was looking before we started that if I need to evolve something, multiple things, there really aren't any fights. Only the Sages really for the 40. Like, I guess you could have done extra fights in Crisis Gym, but
I mean, there wasn't for Evolve for different on the card, so there was really not many needs. There could have been the Charmeleon Ivysaur War Turtle, maybe.
Yeah, Azumarill
just for extra
Quagsire.
X entries.
Yeah, Azumarill Quagsire is something you can definitely evolve into.
Yeah. I sort of, when I encountered a Marill at one point, I was like, oh, wait a minute, wasn't that a thing? But I already got the Quagsire very early on, so it didn't matter.
Anything else you guys want to say about the card or the ROM or the race in general?
No. It's a fun race. I enjoyed it. And
I still hate the Ruins of Alph puzzles, but I'm getting better at it at least.
The Ammonite one is evil.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Nothing else really for me.
Nice to get a Goldberry early, because we had that for 2 goals.
Yeah, both of you actually skipped contest because of it.
Yeah. I considered going in there just to see if there's any Pokemon in there, but when I had info on stuff, it's better to just look for the ones that you have info on, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly, and just go for the guarantees.
I think then we can move towards the end here. GG's again to both of you. Was something different to see actually Ho with Drill Break again, not struggling at any point in time.
It had Drill Pack early. It's pretty strong.
So we definitely have seen some more struggles throughout the tournament already. So nice to have something going through freezing for once. So
absolutely. Oh, I have one more. Ergotae. When the Ho-Oh learned Sand Attack, you chose not to teach it when you saw that Trencha had the goal already. What were you thinking about that?
Yeah, I didn't wanna tie a move slot for it. I figured if it comes to it, I'm gonna have to find Ho-Oh somewhere and catch it later.
Yep. Yeah, that's where that's fair.
I don't like going with 3 moves. I could have overwritten it when I found that whatever had Octasuka, I forget, but
was the Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenya.
I figured I would teach it just in case I never found anything else later on, but if I would still keep looking for stuff that had it, like TMs. There was a TM for it in the Goldenrod Mart as well. There was another TM for it later on, I think, as well, for an accuracy reducing move. I figured if I don't find it, then the Hoa's got it. But if I do, then I'm free to overwrite on Sand Attack.
That's fair.
Yeah. This was not the only race for today. There will be one more race coming up in about an hour on SpeedGaming 3. A race between Fire 1520 versus Horse. Yeah.
And then for the weekend, we got jam-packed. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Saturday and 4 on Sunday.
Yep. On Sunday, Trencha in action again at 11 AM Eastern Time.
And Ergotae is on Saturday.
Yep. At 2 PM.
Weekends are always going to be busy, I guess.
So if you're looking for more Crystal Cinco Bingo, you're in luck. There's tons of races.
Also, if you want to not miss any races of our runners, if the bot would actually be alive at the moment, of course it isn't. You could leave them a follow. Let's see if I can get the bot in some back in time for that at least. But yeah. Otherwise, Ladies Rise, I really enjoyed this race commentating with you.
Same, it was great. Learned a lot. Learned that 90 different scene is not a guarantee, and I'm sorry for saying it is.
It is a guarantee that you have to take with caution.
Yeah.
It can be free at times. It really can. I definitely can remember seeing 110 plus different. But sometimes you just get to 87. But yeah. Okay, I kicked the bot back alive. So
There we go.
There you can find the streams of the runners and leave a follow if you haven't already. Yeah, I think that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. I know for me it's almost in the middle of the night. So, yeah. See you next time.
Goodbye.